Caesari cum id nuntiatum esset, eos per provinciam nostram iter facere canari, maturat ab urbe proficisci et quam maximis potest itineribus in Galliam ulteriorum contendit, et ad Genavam pervenit. Now that you're experienced Latin 2 students, I'm sure you noticed right away that Caesari is not in the nominative case. You're not going to fall for that silly trick of thinking that the first noun in a sentence is the subject. Okay then, what case is Caesari? Well, it's got an I in its third declension, so it's dative. To Caesar. When, oh, here's the subject, this thing had been announced. Notice it is pluperfect passive subjunctive in a cum clause, when this thing had been announced to Caesar. And that whole announcing thing, that sounds like a kissing verb, knowing, sensing, or saying. Saying is just like announcing. So that introduces an indirect statement. And it starts here, and it ends here. So let's see. The indirect statement, we need an accusative subject and an infinitive verb. Eos is your subject. Announced that, it was announced to Caesar that they, those guys, per provinciam nostram, oh, boring prepositional phrase, but we like it because it makes our sentence smaller. Then we have iter facere and conari. Notice you have two infinitives in a row. Conari is from a deponent verb. That's why your infinitive looks passive when it's really not. That I there looks passive. And it means to attempt or try. So when it was announced to Caesar that they were trying, and then now we see why facere is also infinitive, because you have to try to do another infinitive. When they were trying to make an iter, where per provinciam nostram. So there's your cum clause. When it was announced to Caesar that they were trying to do this, what happened? Oh, maturat, here's your verb. And we can assume the subject of maturat is Caesar. He hastened. Now, the thing about maturat is that to usually has an infinitive that goes with it. You usually hasten or hurry to do something. Let's see where the infinitive is that goes with it. Oh, another infinitive from a deponent verb. He hastened to hurry. Ab urbe, prepositional phrase. You can handle that yourself. Okay, and what else did he do? Et quam maximis potest. Oh, watch out here. Caesar loves to do this. He likes to use potest with quam maximis as much as he could, as great as possible. So he uses potest almost in an adverbial sense. So that's not really a verb, but this just means with as great, here it is, itineribus, as possible. With as great a march as possible. In other words, he was hurrying really quickly. He hastened to leave from the city, and with as great a march as possible, he contended into ulterior Gaul. You should recognize contended because we've seen that word since stage 5. That is a synonym for currit, festinat. So he hastened to leave from the city, and he contended into this part of Gaul with as great a march as possible. Notice that's plural, but it sounds weird when you're translating it that way in English. And what else did Caesar do? Ad Genavam pervenit. So here's another verb. He arrived ad Genavam. Continuing on. Provinciae toti, quam maximum potest militum numerum imperat, erat omnino in Gallia ulteriore legio una, pontum qui erat ad Genavam Ubat rescendi. Okay, as we go through, hopefully you noticed he did it again, quam maximum potest. Just like up here, it was as great marches as possible. This is as great as something as possible. Well, okay, as great of what? Let's see. Oh, here it is, numerum. Notice numerum matches with maximum in case number and gender. So we've got, he orders as great a number of soldiers as possible in regard to the whole province, from the whole province. This is dative here. It's kind of like you order a pizza from a waiter. In this case, he's ordering a huge number of soldiers from the province. This parenthetical phrase explains why erat omnino in Gallia ulteriore legio una. Notice omnino is an adverb. We've seen that a couple times. Over here, we have a prepositional phrase, and legio una, only one legion. That's the subject of erat. Then we have pontem, which is accusative, and this relative clause, which describes pontem. Notice, pontem is the antecedent of qui. What about this bridge? That's accusative. Oh, he orders, and you usually order an accusative to do the infinitive in Latin. So Caesar orders the bridge to the infinitive. Hopefully you're paying attention and you see that that I indicates it is a passive infinitive. So Caesar orders the bridge, which goes to Geneva, to be cut down.